This is episode 6, right?
Episode 6.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tripping out.
Already?
Yeah.
Because you can hear yourself?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Is it too loud?
No.
I think it's perfect. You sound like Barry White.
I think I sound pretty good.
Good? Everybody sounds good? Anybody's too loud?
I sound good.
No, yeah, I think we're great.
You always sound good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, so I guess my biggest question to you was how you ended up here, because I tried Googling your name, which...
me?
Yeah.
Googling my name?
Right.
I'm just an average Joe, bro.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how you made it on the podcast.
Because this is my brother right here. This is my brother.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I love this dude.
So just a little side note.
He's officially part of the family now. He was, how long have you been married to Lisa now? 2 years?
Shit. 2 years.
Yeah.
Nice. So
And I love her to death. Bowie.
Yeah. She's
to seal the deal on that, I was like getting everything ready for you and asking Sam some questions and trying to figure out who you were so I could Google you.
Bro.
And I was like, what's Kyle's last name?
Bro, for a split second, I forgot. And he just, it's pretty funny because I obviously should know your last name. That's ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
It's fun. I felt like such an asshole.
No, he
I
forgot.
love it.
He does,
I love it.
I don't know if he knows now.
It's Coleman.
It's Coleman. Okay. How do you
I
forget
love
that?
Well, I can't forget smart because, shit.
Yeah. And
That's
everybody
a tough
knows
one.
Sam's
That's
smart.
hard to live up to also, man.
It's
That's
white
always-
as hell.
All right.
A white name?
No, your last name's Smart.
Yeah.
That's white as hell.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that.
I guess it could be. But I was trying to figure out how
There was a black smart who played for the XFL years ago. I remember thinking, wow, I wonder if we're related somehow.
Well, hold on. Let's take a step back. I didn't mean it in any racial way.
No. Sure.
I mean, what other way could you take it? So I was just trying to figure out how you ended up here, besides Sam. Like, what you got? Tell me what you got.
Well, I'm into UFOs and aliens.
Nice.
That's
nice.
one thing. And also, like, the false matrix that we live in. Oh, wait. Am I close enough?
Yeah, no, you're perfect now.
Okay. Is that good? Okay.
Perfect.
So the false matrix, like everything's fake.
Well, not really. Like, you ever look into the dead internet theory? Okay, so the dead internet theory is like... okay, can we restart this?
Absolutely not. You're good.
We're
Go
rolling,
ahead.
bro.
Dead in it.
That's going to make great, great content there.
Nothing's being cut.
We
here.
don't have a restart button at all.
You're in deep.
This is episode 6.
Man, I'm starting to get nervous.
Don't do that. You're good. I'll help you through it. Don't worry. Just listen.
Here, we'll
to
turn the
my-
cameras off.
Listen to my voice.
Okay, cameras are off.
Cameras
are
off.
off right now.
We'll get the baby oil out and loosen him up. Get the baby oil, Matthew. Hurry up. The Diddy oil.
I've got a lot of that.
The Diddy oil.
Yeah.
We're about to get Diddy.
That had to be more than just oil in all those bottles, man. I bet it was GXB. Have they came out and said anything about that yet? Or are they still claiming that he had millions of bottles of baby oil?
Well, it's a federal case, so there's no cameras in there. So if you watch Long Crime, you know that YouTube series?
You get to see all the drawings they do of him.
Yeah.
I've seen a few. It's like, God, dude.
But what I'm worried about him is what's consensual and what's not, right? So we're talking about like, sex trafficking, right? And the big thing is like, well, all these people have been paid for, right?
Yeah.
And so like, where's the line?
Yeah, maybe they all said yes.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what makes me nervous is that he's not going to be busted.
Yeah.
Because it's all consensual and it's all paid for.
That video though of him whooping Cassie in the hotel. I mean,
She
he
took
has
the
to
money.
be-
She took
She
the
took the
money.
money the
Yeah.
day after she brought up the civil suit, and right away he paid her off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it almost. I wonder if did she not sign a non-disclosure or something? Also,
I'm sure.
I mean, but I guess none of that fucking matter. It's
Once you take the money, I think
it
you
all
kind of
bets are
hush
off.
up. Yeah. You
yeah.
kinda
There's
quiet after that.
yeah. He can't pull a refund like a customer with a credit card, nothing like that. I'm sure you can't reverse charges on the hush money.
Yeah. It didn't really hit me, that whole Diddy thing until you see the videos and you hear like grown men screaming,
bro.
dude. Like, what? That's your worst nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
Just being taken
Yeah.
that way and not wanting that, dude. That's like,
Well,
just
and,
kill me.
You know, that's
just
that's the
literally
whole
just
selling
kill
of
me.
your soul. I think. You know, I mean, those people, they sold their soul. You know,
Like LeBron.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and you
Wait,
know,
like
they're
who?
not people. That,
LeBron
Like, what do you mean?
being at the Diddy party,
yeah,
dressed as a
dressed
French
woman.
maid.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
dude.
that he sold his soul whenever
That's
to
how
be
they do
popular.
it. I think. You
Yeah.
know, I think a lot of them do. You know, like Robin Williams and Miss Doubtfire. I hate to say that. I mean, I loved him, but it seems like every popular actor as a male has to have a woman character before they really start taking off. They have to dress
You don't know
like
this
a woman.
picture
man.
of LeBron James?
Yeah, look at that, bro.
What?
You haven't seen that?
No.
I thought you were into this. What are we doing?
No.
So that evidently that's what.
him, bro.
So LeBron taking off and being so popular, that's how he did it. Is he was
Yeah, dude.
Diddy's little,
That
Well,
was
you know
his
that's what
selling
they
his
say
soul.
about Kevin Hart.
and he in the
Oh,
way
yeah.
in the way that LeBron explains that picture or tries to play that picture off is that it was a bet that he lost and he had to put that on, but
But I think you're right. It's selling your soul.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
it's
sure,
all
man.
evilness for sure.
Yeah, and literally, there's I mean, damn near every major actor has put himself in this position, you know, willingly. He obviously dressed himself there, right? He knew what he was doing.
For sure.
It's weird, man.
And you're taking a picture of yourself?
Would you ever do that? Like,
No.
there's no part of
No.
my mind
No,
that would
no,
ever
no.
even dress like that, much less take a photo.
and
like
the guy,
that.
it's
who
like
would
these
even-
people are already wealthy. It's not like if they say no, you know, they can't be changed financially. Once you have as many millions of dollars as most of these people have, a couple of more or even double isn't really going to change your life a whole lot, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just
Yeah, it's a power struggle.
it's weird. It's like they wanted to be part of this team, you know, the other team.
That's right.
Who wants to
Yeah.
Who wants to be on that
Yeah.
team? Nobody.
I know.
I'm out.
I
on that.
know, man.
I'd rather be poor and live
Yeah.
under a bridge than have to sell your soul or sell your booty hole or
Yeah.
any of that stuff, dude. I'm out on
Oh,
all
dude!
that.
And,
No,
you know,
thank
Justin
you.
Bieber, man. I've watched a bunch of shows on him, and it's almost sad. You know,
Dude, super
it's
sad.
almost sad because he was just completely taken advantage of. You know,
Well, did you watch the new Ian Carroll?
man, I've watched bits and pieces of it.
Where his management company is just raping him. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Because
man.
his new so what's his
Oh,
name?
he had to sell off a bunch of songs recently. I think he
Was it because of his management company?
they just are keeping all the money or just fucking him.
Yeah.
He looks like a junkie when you see him. He walking
Bro,
around. He looks like a straight junkie.
I've had guys that have worked for me in the past that unfortunately went down the wrong road of becoming a junkie. And it's literally the same facial features, man. The
In their
sunken
eyes.
in
You can
cheeks,
see in their
dude.
eyes,
Yeah,
like,
man.
that
It's
stare
sad,
they
bro.
get.
Yeah, looks like he's
Yeah,
straight
look at
out
him,
of
bro. There he is, man. He's
San Francisco streets.
All right, so hold on. Look,
Yeah.
what's his management company? Look that
I
up.
don't-
that'll be easy to find.
I don't think that it's even a question how they sell these cats, you know, for money. They're everything, their whole
Yeah.
life. Like they turn them out like Diddy did to him
Oh,
at a
that
young
guy,
age.
That guy.
I mean, he was
Scott
going.
Braun, Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun. Yeah. So he was he's a part of
I don't know. You just see how Bieber's gone after spending time with Diddy when he was little. You know,
Yeah,
being
man.
just turned over to him, and he was like, "We have him. We have this guy till tomorrow at such and such time." Like he was a piece of property that he
Well,
bought.
and
you
he
know?
was found at such a young age. He never got a chance to be a normal dude. You know what I mean? Like when he snatched off the street at 14, when he was playing his
sold.
guitar or whatever, right away his
Yeah.
life is never gonna be normal ever again. He doesn't even know. You know, we watched Jennifer and I watched this really odd story about his wife and how she and her dad, Alec Baldwin, or one of the Baldwins, I don't know if it was Alec Baldwin or not, for like 5 or 6 years leading up to the marriage of them two, her dad would fly her into different
'em
areas,
together.
put them together, make sure that she just happened to be standing there next to the
I saw that
paparazzi when he
too,
comes
yeah.
out. It's creepy, bro. It's like, and then for Baldwin to do that for his daughter, it's like, it's almost like you're forcing this on, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
What's even more weird is when you see these families doing that in their own family. Like they keep these marriages
Yeah.
between their own family like that. They
Yeah.
want that bloodline that strong.
yeah, bro.
That's
the bloodline.
That's
Well,
retarded.
and that is literally
Yeah.
will turn retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. You very small gene pool.
For sure. And I think the biggest thing too with the gene pool thing is you've seen how Joe Rogan just had that guy on where he went to that inbred family where it was like
Yeah,
they were direct
yeah.
cousins that
The-
had kids.
The underbelly. What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
soft white underbelly
There
guy.
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
he's like, you meet these people and it's something else. It was direct
Dude.
cousins that had kids.
Yeah.
and these cousins were twins too, I think, or one set.
Yeah,
of twins.
they were twins, and what's so crazy is all of the offspring had the same defects, bro. Like they all had the same eye looking off to the side and a little shifted. You know what I mean? It was
They wouldn't talk. They would bark like dogs.
bark like fucking dogs. You had to have seen that.
Dude, it's scary.
Yeah, dude, it is. It's captivating though, bro.
Yeah, you
that
can't
dude gets
stop.
the views, man.
Cannot stop.
He's. I mean, I've watched a lot of his stuff. You know, it's not just the crazy. You know,
A lot of drug addicts.
a
and
lot of
stuff.
drug addict stories but he also puts himself in weird situations, man, where he starts giving them money and then he develops like this weird quasi relationship with them.
Really?
But they end up playing him like they know what they're doing because they're street smart, you know.
Right.
Drug dealers or drug
Drug
takers
addicts,
for that
yeah.
reason. Yeah, I mean they have to be kind of good at what just to continue that habit or continue to get what they need, you know. So there's been a few that I've seen that have totally used him. It seems, you know,
Right.
pretty wild.
It's nuts to see people that have trouble with drugs, like Bieber. You know what I
Oh,
mean? They
yeah,
could be
bro.
so rich and then they just let it go. It just like takes over them. I don't know what makes people do that. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
has a drug in their life, I'm sure, whether it's sugar or caffeine or
Nicotine.
alcohol, weed, you know.
Yeah.
But what makes people do those hard drugs?
I don't know, man. It must be, I've heard people mention how, you put cocaine and food in a rat cage. The rat's going to go to the cocaine until he dies. You know what I
Really?
mean, they just would rather have cocaine than food. And people do the same thing when they get addicted to something like that. They would rather do that than take care of their family, than eat, than support.
Wasn't there another study, Matthew, where it said that they gave rats the option to choose
Yes,
between
as long as they have an option of something nice and natural, they always choose that.
Right.
But when you're putting water or food next to cocaine and you're in this small box, that's the only enjoyment they get is that cocaine. But when they have a real
Support
life
system.
scenario world to walk out in and play, and
they won't even touch it.
they won't fuck with the cocaine.
Isn't that crazy?
But that's probably similar in human life, right? Because the people that get fucked up on drugs are in a bad space emotionally,
like an
and
event that
socially.
happened to them, lost a child or something.
For sure. Yeah, man. But if they are surrounded by the right group of people and they have the right shit going in their life, they never, like, I wouldn't fucking pick up a crack pipe, right? So that's the thing, right? I mean, none of us would, I don't think.
I never even touched that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It must be awesome, I mean, for people to just throw their shit away.
really?
But
Is
why
it?
would you ever? You know what I mean? Like it obviously is good, right, for them to do what they do to get it. But I mean, I grew up in the hugs not drugs era, bro. Like say no to drugs. I was scared of that shit. I never I was so addicted to cigarettes at a young age that I was afraid when I had friends that would dabble in coke and shit. But I was fucking terrified to touch it because I knew. At 16 years old, I remember thinking, dude, I'm so fucked up on cigarettes already. I would just go off the deep end with that shit. And and my friends knew it, so they would hide it from me. The ones that did it, they would, because I would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
But I was just afraid of it. Although I smoked cigarettes and other stuff, but it's whatever reason that I think it was growing up the way I did with that shit being pumped down our fucking throats as 6th graders and 7th graders. And one particular teacher I really, when I think back to it, it's one particular teacher that was really good at pumping that into all of our fucking heads. And she was like that teacher that kept up with all of us until we actually
cared about you.
graduated.
Yeah.
I remember mowing my yard years after I graduated at my mom's house, mowing the yard for her. And Miss Ross drives by and stops and talks to me for, 30 minutes out in the front yard.
You're such a good kid.
Yeah.
Wow, he's over there doing stuff he shouldn't be doing.
Oh, yeah, dude. We were heathens. Just coke free.
Just tormenting. Oh, man, that's hilarious.
So, man, I know that you have gotten, pretty in depth with the orb situation, man. And
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to hear some of your theories about it, man. I think that'd be interesting because you are studying it way more than the average person, and I love watching about it and reading about it, but I'm so busy all the time. I get glimpses and pieces of it, and I don't really.
Well, we can start with the Patrick Jackson orb theory, right?
All right.
So they have type 1 orbs that
And these
no,
are like
type three.
orbs. What are we talking? We're talking about like
Okay, so the
supernatural stuff, or are we talking about like UAP that you're
So okay, so you see the orbs in the sky, right?
like in New
Everybody's
Jersey,
starting to
what
see-
everybody's talking
yes,
about in New
all of
Jersey.
it. But if you start to look at them, they create a triangle. There's 3 of them in the sky always. And okay, let's start with MH 370.
The plane that disappeared.
Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
ever look in any of that shit?
I
Yeah.
did.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Well, I've seen the videos where they are the theories where they say the orbs surrounded the plane.
Well, have you seen the video
No,
where the 3 orbs circle around
that's
it?
the one I'm referring to.
triangulate it?
I must have seen it, but I didn't really pay attention to it because it was just like, how do they have video of that? Like, where? Did
That's
that
what
video
kind of
come from?
fucked me up at first. It's like, why, how? But, you know,
Is it a reenactment? Or?
no, it's 2 different angles, right? I think one from a satellite and one from like a Predator drone. And it was supposedly recorded like in 14. I
So
mean, obviously when it happened, right?
Yeah, so Ashton Forbes does a whole big old thing on this, and so, and he shows and he explains how the 3 orbs, how they circulate around the plane going, and it's sorry, I'm choking.
You're fine.
Like,
You're fine. I think
So the plane, the orbs appear out of nowhere. But is that something that is that guy Patrick Jackson talking about? It's something that our government has initiated, or is this like an alien thing? I mean, what do you think it is?
all right, can we take a break?
no, absolutely not.
This is tripping me out, man.
What do you mean, bro?
This is tripping me out.
This is
What's
great.
wrong?
What, are you freaking out?
No, just take a breath, bro. Don't even think about those, man. They're not even there, dude.
Well, like I got to take this headset off.
That's fine. You can go no headphones.
Okay.
yeah, is that
Go
fucking with you?
commando.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them, bro. I feel like it's like a warm, cozy blanket of sound.
My theory on the freaking plane is look at who was on the plane.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
It was the
too.
semiconductor company that had all of its elite people on that plane at one time, which
Like every one of them, right?
right, and which is so strange because a lot of companies, almost all of them, have policies that are super strict. Like you don't put that many people on a plane for that exact reason, because if it goes down, how are you going to replace all those people?
Yeah.
So when money's involved, especially with semiconductors being such a hot topic and commodity right now, the U.S. trying to gain its grasp on that production of them, I don't see any question of the government doing some sort of like blue beam thing where they have a holographic something or even like some direct energy weapon to get rid of a plane out of the sky. You know, these are just just things that just popped in my brain, right? This is not anything I put any research into. But whenever they want to capture that type of production, I don't think that they'll do anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
When money's involved like that or power,
Yeah.
they'll get rid of a plane like that. And
For
not
sure.
even
And,
think about it.
you know, COVID opened my eyes up to so many different things. But I think pre-COVID, I would be way less susceptible to believing it, right? But after COVID, it's like, fuck, look what they just did. Have you seen the study about the fucking scar tissue showing up in cadavers' hearts, their lining of their heart, and they think it's fucking vaccine related? It's a huge study out of Japan going on right now where everybody who had this shot, who gets an autopsy, has this weird scarring going on in their heart that
Like myocarditis, or
they haven't. It didn't talk about myocarditis. It's something different. It's something was attacking their heart that, whether it was their cause of death or not, they're not sure. But it's definitely leaving behind traces of something going on that, in people that didn't get the vaccine, they're not seeing it.
right,
You know?
right.
I mean, we're probably going to have years of shit like that popping up. That's what I mean. Like, if they'll do shit like this to us, they'll definitely fucking disappear a plane.
A plane, especially when power's involved. You know what I mean? And it's something that maybe he can explain, but I don't think that you can explain that. If they want you to go away, dude, you're going away, bro. That's what it comes down to.
But if it is something that our government did, right? Did it just in essence explode, or did it go somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, do they have the ability, like the Philadelphia experiment years ago when they tried to disappear the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
It left, but it came back, if you believe that story. Where the fuck did this plane go? If that's what happened, is it just gone, or did it fucking go somewhere else? You know?
Yeah. just kind of stepping back a second into that COVID thing. I just sent Matthew a video if you want to pull it up. Just to give you a second. You're good, bro. Don't worry. You're gonna be just fine.
The cameras.
You're gonna be just fine. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
Dude,
You're
you
good.
turned them off, bro. They're not even on.
So, this video that I'm about to show you, it kind of hit me in a certain way because,
You also have the headphones on.
Huh?
You need the headphones on to hear this.
oh yeah, just so you can listen to the video.
Yeah.
You don't. It's just so you can hear what he says. But it just hit me different. I would go ahead and listen to it first. Hold on.
The anti-vaxxers clearly are the winners at this point, and I think it'll probably stay that way. And I don't want to put any shade on that whatsoever. They came out the best. They have the winning position. The unvaccinated have a current advantage because they feel better. The thing they're not worrying about is what I have to worry about, which is, I wonder if that vaccination 5 years from now, because really the anti-vaxxers, I think, were really just distrustful of big companies and big government. That's never wrong. It's never wrong to distrust government. It's never wrong to distrust big companies, right? So if you just took the position, let's just distrust everything the government did, well, you won. You won. You won completely. I did not end up in the right place.
So
Agree?
that's
all
good.
agree
So
with that?
Wow,
what it
bro.
kind of leads to is like, I thought that once people started coming out like that, I'm gonna feel like, oh, I was right. I feel better about
Oh,
myself,
man.
dude. But it's the
It's-
exact opposite. Like you feel sorry for those people. Like they got just
I mean,
brainwashed,
my whole family,
pressured
dude.
into it.
Jennifer and me and Ethan, only ones in my whole family that didn't.
Held
But
out.
The reason I didn't is because, before they even had the vaccine, right, there was studies coming out of California by doctors that were 100% showing that it's not as contagious as they're telling us. The kill rate on this thing is nowhere near what they're acting like it is. And every study that a doctor came out with that leaned that way at all, dude, they were canceled. They were kicked off YouTube. They were kicked off Facebook. And I saw a few of these videos before they were canceled. And I remember showing Jennifer and saying, dude, they're fucking us. What are they doing? And I was already, dude, I would order DoorDash and wipe the fucking bags off with alcohol. Like I was going down that path, but once I started realizing they were censoring people that had other opinions, it's like, dude, this something's not fucking right, man.
I was
And-
just thinking I was going to feel different about it. I would
Yeah.
feel more vindicated, like, yeah, I was right, blah, blah,
No,
blah. But,
that's
dude,
a
you
good
feel
point,
sorry
man.
for these people, man.
That's a good point.
Because you imagine taking that shot and then you seeing these athletes that are like football players.
bro.
2 of them died in a weekend running half marathons.
Yeah.
Just died suddenly.
Yeah.
All these died suddenly cases now that
yeah,
are just
man.
jumping up everywhere.
These compilations that literally hundreds of people, and now everybody's being filmed at any given moment, so yeah, you're catching news anchors falling out, as they're telling everybody, don't forget to take your and they,
Brought to you by Pfizer.
yeah, right.
Check your ass straight out, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, man.
It's wild. Yeah, there's not much they wouldn't do. So,
The jab I don't know. And it's like there's still people getting these shots. There's
Yeah.
still people getting boosters. Thank God they just took it off. Did you see where Bobby took it off the mandated schedule for
Really?
kids and women,
That's-
pregnant women? So they're taking it. They're,
That's
they're
awesome.
making steps to getting that shit out of there.
well, they made everybody feel like they had to, especially people in the medical field. My daughter, she's a nurse, and they did everything but tell her she was going to get fired if she didn't
Oh,
take
she's
it.
a nurse now?
Yeah, she's been a nurse for I think like 6-7 years. But and
Did she
does,
take it?
She took it. Yeah, her and then
Well, you
my
have to.
son-in-law took it because
have to.
his wife took it.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to.
My sister's a teacher, so they made all the teachers feel like they better fucking take them. My dad was going through cancer treatments at the time. His doctor's like, well, you better fucking take this.
He took it.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Jennifer and I are and my son, the only ones in our family that didn't take it.
And people that took it are getting these turbo cancers. These cancers
Yeah.
that are coming out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
I know.
Clogging up their arteries.
Oh, dude, have you seen any of the stuff about the actual clots they're pulling out of dead people?
Yeah, long, like 3 or 4 feet
bro,
long.
and rubbery.
Yeah.
And
white.
Look, man, maybe, I don't know. It's easy for somebody like us who are not in that field to say that's fucking crazy.
No, but the people in the field
are saying it's crazy. I know
that they've
but
never seen that.
How could that not hit me? Is it just because they're afraid to let the masses know how fucking bad this thing was for everybody? They're afraid of some big revolt, or
It's the
why
money.
wouldn't they?
It's the money, bro. It's the money.
Yeah.
They're afraid they're gonna have to pay the money back, and they're gonna start getting sued.
Oh, bro! But remember that wasn't there like a? I think they upon agreeing to take the shot. If I could be completely off base with this,
But
but
you
I think
can't
they
sue.
signed like a waiver.
Probably.
You know, saying that, hey, you know, we can't be sued for this, or Pfizer got the government to, I don't know, something. I did hear about how they are totally protected from lawsuits in the event that something goes wrong with this, you know, vaccine.
Right.
And we all know they didn't make it in, you know, 9 months or whatever.
For that many billions of
and
people.
yeah, I mean, apparently it was patented years and years ago. That form of you know, the whatever they call it, that particular type of medication is a patented process from years ago. So I'm sure this has been in the lab, you know, or in a you know, freezer down in a tunnel,
Right.
you know, for
the
for
gain
years,
of function.
man.
They were just trying to figure
Yeah.
out how to make it stronger.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, they're still trying to do that shit, man. They're still trying to do it. It's the craziest shit.
And you see your boy Bill Gates talking about how more vaccines is what we need, and you know, trying to put it in the food and in the plants and shit. It's like, what are you doing?
God,
Why are
bro.
you trying to kill us?
Dude, they're trying to breed mosquitoes that are literally immunizing people when they bite people. I
Great.
mean, that's And obviously they've been spraying the sky with chemical trails
Yeah.
for years and years. And
I'm
you
so
know,
glad that's coming to like everybody's to the front on it, and you know, it's gaining so much traction now where people are like stopping the chemtrails. Didn't someone say, or you tell me, that there's a number you can call when you see a chemtrail now, that you can call
Really?
and report that you've seen
No,
one?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
something- I have to
You know,
look into that.
I have noticed fewer, but they're still out there, bro. I mean,
They do it at
and-
night now. Have you
Well,
noticed?
yeah, dude. We go walking at night, and on a clear night,
spray
you
'em,
can
see
fucking
'em.
see them, dude.
And you
And
wake up, they're there.
there, and during the day too. I'm sure you've seen this, because you know the argument is it's condensation, and it happens at certain altitudes, and it's based on additives. That some jets have a certain additive that create it more than others. It's all bullshit. But I've literally seen two planes at the same height, right next to each other. I mean, look, I say the same height. Pretty fucking, you could tell they're the same size, right? When you're looking at them, one is putting out a billowy fucking chemtrail. The other one isn't doing shit. You know, it's like, okay, so it's not an altitude thing. I mean, these motherfuckers are spraying us.
Yeah.
In Dallas, when you think about it, we're not in the part of the country where we have a lot of flyover traffic, right? We're kind of south. If you're going from LA to New York, you're not going to fly right over Dallas. We have a lot of planes coming in and out of here, but these chemtrails are at like, you know, cruising height, going every fucking different
In a
direction. It
straight
makes no
line,
sense,
like a
dude.
grid pattern.
They
like they're
always
making sure.
cross.
They
Bro.
always
They
cross.
always fucking cross.
Yep.
You know, and yeah.
I got a photo on my phone of one where it's right above my house, and it's like X marks the spot.
Yeah,
You know.
You know what's weird too?
Then the next day
time-
it's cloudy and it's
Yes,
rainy.
bro. I was going to say that, and not only that, even the same day, like hours after they do them, you end up with a
rolls in.
haze,
Yep.
like a weird haze. Not really a fog, but you can just everything's a little dimmer. You know.
It used to piss me off. Like you'd see it, the day was so beautiful, and then they would start
Yeah,
spraying,
dude.
and you just get so. And I think that the shit they're putting in there makes you angry. You know that Prince was on video.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he did that video
years
right
ago,
before
bro. He was
got-
on to a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he gets taken out.
Yeah.
and it looks crazy and gets taken out. So
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
crazy. We're not trying to. We're never going to kill ourselves. So if that happens to us, or
There
how
you
about
go.
that? Didn't we talk about it on the last pod with the Epstein chick, the girl who said
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
will not kill myself,
Yeah,
and
now-
now she's evidently killed herself.
Yeah, that's odd, man.
What was her name? She was that one in the video with Clinton, right? Or
Yeah,
the photo
dude.
With Clinton.
I should know her name. Blonde hair chick.
Yep.
Yeah, she was all over the Prince of England. I guess her and him
Yep.
had some
Yep.
shit
That's
going
right.
on.
That's
Yeah.
right. So there is a number, Matthew. You call?
Look at that, dude.
Yeah, there's two numbers.
Sick.
And there was also 911.
Reporting oil, chemical, or hazardous substances released. Wow. You know, but what would they really do, bro? You know, and the thing is too, like, they have to be planes that are they're set up to do that. You can't. You know, I've seen pictures
They're paid
of them.
to do that.
You see pictures. I've seen pictures where they'll have tanks, you know, in the cabin area where people would be sitting, right? So all the chemtrails we see going around are not normal passenger traffic. That's what's crazy. All the
No.
fucking extra planes in the air
Yeah.
to do this to us, you
Right.
know? And dude, you don't have to be in Dallas. I've been way the fuck out in East Texas.
Other countries too.
Yes, but over very unpopulated there, like they're just fucking doing it everywhere, man, you know? But some days there won't be a single fucking one up there.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And I feel like since Trump's been in, it's been more days now that
Yeah.
they're not spraying.
That-
like
yeah.
someone's putting pressure on them. So I don't-
Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully he's the real deal and will do shit like that for us, you know?
yeah.
But
Didn't they say it's DARPA that's doing it? Didn't they say?
That would make sense, but I'm not 100% sure.
Chemtrails, baby.
Because I don't know anything about it. I'm just looking at
So,
what
but-
are the purposes of these chemtrails and
There's
stuff.
so many different
Weather modification.
speculations.
But it's saying right here these are chemical and biological agents deliberately sprayed for undisclosed, often nefarious purposes.
Nefarious.
Jesus, bro. 100% nefarious. I remember a time when they weren't up there. You and I are old enough, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I remember playing, riding my bike around the neighborhood in the fucking late 80s, early 90s. I would have noticed that, I think. You know what I mean? Right? We would have noticed that shit. And I certainly don't remember
Yeah.
that.
And
I remember them disappear. I remember seeing those.
And then they fade
would
away
disappear.
instantly.
Yeah, maybe
Like-
100
like
yards,
that's a
200 yards.
contrail. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do.
And what about this guy that Disney paid like $4 million to digitally imprint lines in the sky in
Yeah.
some of their older movies?
Yes,
So that way they're trying to make
yeah.
it, like you said, more
Yeah,
like
they've
programming.
always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal.
Look, it's in the Disney movies. Yeah, we trust Disney. Okay. No.
Yeah, dude. I like the Disney
Logos.
posters where the artist drew a cock in it somewhere. Have you seen those?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Pinocchio or
and the
whatever.
stuff they released, and it's actual stuff they released.
Yes.
That's how
They
sick
had
these
to have
fucks
known-
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. We're all being controlled by a bunch of child molesting.
Why do they want you?
sickos,
I mean,
bro.
did they want the kids for the adrenochrome, or are
dude,
they
I
just
believe in that,
sick?
dude. I
'Cause-
really
yeah.
think that was going on.
Yeah. How else can you explain these? Like, have you seen that photo? Pull up the photo of current. Who's the chick went to prison? Martha Stewart. Pull up a photo of her currently, please. Yes.
What, bro? I liked her, dude.
Have you seen? You know what she looks like.
Adrenochrome, you're talking like.
Pull up a current photo. Look at this one in the brown right there. Look at her right there. Pull that one up. Yes.
What the fuck? You don't think that's Ozempic doing that to her, bro?
No.
Because you know that shit's fucking people up too, bro.
But that's making their eyes suck in, and the Ozempic eats at your connective tissue, like your joint,
Okay.
your ligaments, and your tendons. That's where they lose weight. They're not losing weight in their
That's
fat.
crazy,
They're losing
bro.
connective tissue.
That seems important.
But look at her. She looks freaking amazing. She looks like she's 30.
That's
She's
crazy.
82.
83 years old.
83 years old.
That's ridiculous, bro.
what
Yeah,
the
you know.
hell?
Well,
Might need to get Frank back on here. You got to understand what's with that guy too.
Yeah, Frank, he's a whole nother monster
Yeah.
too.
well, so that's a recent fucking picture of her, dude?
83 years old, defies age. Yeah, she looks great.
bro.
But what
I
are they
bet her
doing?
fucking plastic surgeon has a badass yacht.
What do they do? That's not plastic surgery. That can't.
No,
be.
that's wild, man.
Look at her neck.
That's normally the tail. You know what I mean?
Look
The
at her
is
neck
the
in that
tail.
photo. Then look at her neck in the blue photo right there. Look how old her neck looks
Yeah.
there. There's something going on, dude.
Yeah, look, that's her and Snoop. I knew they hooked up.
She looks great. Look at that photo. She's a billionaire.
There's no way that's Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
crazy, dude. I mean, she looks like she's in her fucking 30s,
She looks
bro.
amazing.
And she cooks a hell of a loaf of bread.
Did Martha Stewart get plastic surgery? No, she's drinking baby's blood.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
What the fuck? What? That's not her,
That's
bro.
her, dude. What happened?
That's not her.
Dude, that's her. What the fuck? That is crazy, dude.
Snoop Dogg's all over.
So
her,
how
too.
long? At 83 is when people typically start winding down.
Falling
she looks
apart.
fucking great. Like, how old do you? I mean, she looks like she has another 30, 40. I mean, how can you even say how long? Right? Like, it's.
You want to see another one? Pull up Madonna.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
bro.
pull up.
She's looking rough.
And you know, dude.
No, wait till you see this. Wait
So-
till you see
How
this.
do you? I don't even know. Let's put Madonna.
Come on now.
Uh,
He does it. Look, it's right there.
Like a surgeon. Oh, that was Weird Al.
It's the cheekbones.
Yeah.
What?
Look at her, dude. Oh my God.
Okay, she's in her 60s, right?
No, she's older than
you gotta
that.
look at Simon
What?
Cowell.
Oh, Simon too. Yeah. Look at him, dude.
It's the chick
That's
man.
Ozempic right there.
Oh, you're right. There
That's
you go.
Ozempic. Look at his face. Ugh.
That's horrible, bro.
Take it
why
off,
would
please. Take it
Why
off.
would you lose weight if a byproduct is looking so bad, bro? You know? You ever
scarred
see
for
that? You
life.
see somebody that's lost a little bit of weight and they just look fucking so
Yeah.
different. Like, they don't even
But
look
some people
good.
lose weight and look great.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, that's horrendous.
Oh, that's crazy. So, what was the deal with the adrenochrome? Or what is it adrenochrome? Is
Okay,
that,
so what it is evidently. Put my tinfoil hat
And
on.
now you guys.
you
are
should
getting
jump in
deep.
on this because I know you know about this shit, bro.
It's
Getting in deep.
it's something that babies or kids produce when they're being tortured or sexually abused.
So
It's a legit like
it's like a
serum type, I don't know, genetic, some sort of
some
something.
kind of fight or flight fucking shit that they're producing that.
that only kids will
Hormones.
produce.
So they keep these kids. The theory is they keep them alive and they just keep scaring the fuck out of them
just
while they're
abusing them.
extracting the shit from them.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I've heard that, dude. That's
Remember
that's
whenever
wild.
she was getting on the car and she every once in a while
Stumbled
she
in
just
and-
like freaks out. Like
Yeah.
I wish pull up some Hillary Clinton like
Yeah, the getting into the van when they shoved her into the van real quick.
or when
they-
her face just turns and she just like freaks
way
out
she
like
smiles, like-
yes,
I'm not looking
dude.
up.
Hillary Clinton
falls.
robot. I don't
There you
know.
go.
Dude, she is a mess, dude.
So are
I
they
don't know
are
what
they
you want me to
drinking
look
this
up.
shit?
It couldn't happen.
Are they? Is it? Do they drink this shit or inject it to themselves or what? I mean,
Man, I don't really know what to say. I
and,
think
you
it's
know,
an
if
injection
we
thing.
had didn't I hear we had like 350,000 missing kids right now? Some absurd number like that. Like I mean that.
And you heard them casually say that the government was the biggest, child trafficking agency. It was one of the, federal agencies
Yeah.
just supposed to protect kids, and they're actually trafficking kids for that reason, probably.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's that money to do that with, because that costs a lot of money to pay these motherfuckers to do this. I'm sure it was coming right out of USAID.
Yeah, Clinton she has an email that was saved between her and another executive, and it was her describing how she had $67,000 worth of pizzas on a plane.
Oh yeah,
Remember that? And
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
how can the guy from the Wow Files was like, how can you physically have
That much,
$67,000 worth of pizzas
you
on a plane?
talk to a guy at a
You're
pizzeria.
talking
I
in
bet. I
code.
mean,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and it's probably 5 months worth of pizza.
Yeah,
You know.
in a plane. But
Yeah.
what they're talking about is boys and girls.
That-
And
yeah.
pizzas and hot dogs is what they
Yeah.
describe them.
Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and see, it was so easy for the left to completely dismiss that as just ridiculous. What do you mean, Pizzagate? What kind of bullshit is it? And and so I think that is what caused people to not dig deeper into it, because it's so absurd sounding.
Yeah. Well,
But-
there's Democrats now that are jumping sides. They're like, I'm so sick of being a Democrat because of what they're doing to these
Yeah.
kids.
Oh yeah, dude. I heard that not only the pizza as a euphemism, but the FBI had a list of 30 or 40 different code words that were all something related to, like a pickle or a fucking taco or a banana split. And in the world of child molestation and trafficking and child, all that shit, those were all code words for
Oh, yeah.
and they were all using those words back and forth to each other in emails. I mean, there's some nasty shit, man.
And why? Like, why?
Yeah. I don't know. Are they doing that to video somebody else with the kids so they have this fucking this they can dangle it over their head as to always make sure they get their way? It's basically a lifelong ransom.
No matter what, you're going to be part of this.
Yeah. You can't say shit now, motherfucker.
You never will be able to.
Yeah. Well, and that's, the same thing Epstein was doing and probably what Diddy was doing in some form,
I had a video on here I wanted to show, but I can't find it right now. I should have saved it when I did. But it was the Democrats talking like that. And she's just like, finally, just like, I'm so sick of getting these men out of trouble. And then they just do it again and again and again, hurting these kids over and over and over. And it's like, nobody does anything to them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of sicks. Just so sick. I don't get it.
No, it's pretty wild. You know, I recently quit vaping, right? You've known me for a long time.
Yeah, you
Houston.
told me about that.
Kyle, you've known me for a long time. I've always vaped. And I switched over. I didn't just totally cold turkey the nicotine, right? I have a Zen in right now. But I've been looking into nicotine and
I was going to talk to you about that.
how
yeah.
it's apparently not as bad as everybody has always assumed. It's been tied to cigarettes for so long, which obviously are bad for us, right?
the delivery system,
The
right?
delivery system,
Yeah.
yeah, man. And as long as you find the right delivery system, it's actually a very helpful drug
For cognitive, like for your brain.
cognitive.
and
It stops Alzheimer's apparently.
yeah, what's the deal with that? That's crazy.
I know and what's crazy is my stepdad died of ALS about 5 years ago now, and it was 6 years ago in 2019. He was diagnosed in 2003. It was sad, bro. He was in a small wreck. He was a truck driver for CFI, and he was in a fender bender. And when the cops got there, this was in '03, they thought that he was drunk because he was stumbling around and shit. He's like, I don't drink. What do you mean? I mean, I might drink a beer during a Cowboy game, but no, I haven't been drinking.
He had a
Well,
stroke?
you need to go to the doctor. No, his ALS was starting to show up, and he hadn't really realized it yet. And he went to the doctor and got diagnosed with it like that day, and they gave him 4 years to live. Well, he quit smoking cigarettes right away, but he started chewing Nicorette gum like it was going out of style, bro. I mean, he always had like a little bit of yellow in the corners of his mouth from
Just getting it.
bro. He was chewing the fuck out of Nicorette gum. Well, he ended up living 17 years after diagnosis. And I wonder, bro, and he was so sharp the whole time, bro.
That's what did it?
Yeah. And I didn't ever think about that until recently. You know what I mean? I was actually...
You said Zens stop Alzheimer's?
Well, not Zen stopped Alzheimer's, but nicotine itself it can counteract the effects of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Also, they say it'll make people, not shake quite as much. It's proven to allow deeper thoughts. Apparently, just more brain activity in general.
enhances it a
right?
lot,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, dude. And
I just can't.
it gives me like I fucking pop one in before I work out. I know it doesn't look like I work out, but I just feel energy from it.
Dude, what makes me such a fucking pansy that if I put a 3 milligram in one time for like an hour. Do you dip? You do nicotine? You got to dip in? Right?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, so you'll think this is funny. Then I put a fucking Sorry, my language. I put a 3 milligram in for like an hour, and I was like, spit that shit out, dude. I was sitting right there by my desk, and I felt like I was on a roller coaster. I was like, this sucks. How do you guys do this?
Hey,
I
Matt.
tried so hard.
Yep.
I just sent you a video.
Hold on, let him do mine real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Only because it's going. I found that one about that lady talking about the kids. I just want to.
Cool.
I'm passionate about the kids, so
Yeah.
I want to try to show everybody that these Democrats are sick.
Walking away from the Democratic Party.
I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for? I ask all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay anymore. And no more am I watching.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it's good to see that. I wondered how long it was going to take before we would start seeing them coming over in
Stepping
droves.
over.
You can't, and we've talked about it before. It's like, how can you get behind any of the shit that half of them are talking about? I mean, and I don't want to get.
Get there.
It's frustrating when neither one of us are racist, right? Obviously, but if the Democrats had their way, they would make everybody think that all of guys like me and you are completely filled with hate and racism. When in turn it's like they actually are the ones just in the programs they put together for minorities. in the way they incentivize ladies in the ghetto to not have a man in the household. They only get more money from the government if they're
Not
a
together.
single family, house or a single parent house. The moment a male steps back in, she doesn't get as much fucking welfare. So why the fuck would she want a man there?
Yep.
And it's like they do it to themselves, man. It's nuts, bro. I don't advocate doing what Shiloh did and blasting the N-word over and over like that. But you know what? It's almost like people have had it, bro.
Yeah.
It's it's just an attitude. I think that's more than anything.
Well, that's the only way they can take over is that they keep us fighting with each other
Yeah.
over stuff like that.
Yeah.
Religion, race, all that crap. So, anyways, what were you going to say before
Well,
I stopped you?
I had a video on nicotine I wanted to Matt to bring up. Did you get that text, Matt? I know I
Yes.
sent you 2 links. It's the second link.
So you just do regular old dip, just like the old school,
No,
or
it's,
you do
it's
Zins?
like a Zen type pouch, right?
They're bandits.
So that's
Here,
the old
scoot a little
school. Those are
closer.
the original Zins.
Well, like Swedish.
You're far from the mic.
Yeah, scoot up a little bit.
I'm camera shy, bro.
There's
Yeah,
no
you're-
cameras on, bro. We turn them off. This is
Yeah,
audio
the cameras
only.
are off, but
Audio only.
But you are completely out of frame on every camera right now.
I'm sorry, man. I messed this up.
You are not on a single camera at the moment.
Anyway, so you're the old school Zins, the originals. What's the difference? Just
Tucker Carlson talking.
because that's
well-
tobacco, right?
Well, that's
like
what I said, but I
tobacco.
don't know. Is yours tobacco or is it?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's just nicotine.
Yeah, mine is
straight-
literally just
nicotine.
I
That's
mean,
it.
I hope that's all that's in it, right? I mean, I'm trying to be more healthy with this shit, but I thought I was being healthy vaping, and I did that shit for 10 years and probably did more damage to myself.
Oh, baby.
The
You
moment
vaped
I
for
quit
10
vaping,
years?
bro, I quit smoking cigarettes when I turned 35.
Were you the first person to ever
I must
vape?
have been, bro. I was
10
fucking,
years?
dude, I'm telling you, I was vaping. Dude, I was such a nerd. I had to build my own
Yeah.
coils and squirt the liquid in there.
The cotton and shit.
Bro, and then I'd do tricks. Not really. I would
Yeah, you did. Don't fucking lie.
the vape competitions. I remember walking into a vape store like 10 years ago, and they had like these markings on the wall, like up out to like 15 feet. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, that's where we have our vape offs. What? Yeah, we
Sign
see
me
how
up.
long you can blow a smoke ring.
You're like, sign me up.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the Zen, I really don't know what's in it, but this is what they're talking about on this.
Nicotine pouches are all the rave. You're seeing RFK popping them, Tucker Carlson talking about them. What is going on with nicotine that the public doesn't know?
Nicotine is not addictive. Parkinson's disease can be prevented and can be cured and its symptoms reversed with nicotine alone. Nicotine is known to medical science to be a curative agent and a preventative agent for Alzheimer's. Did you know that nicotine also can cure the symptoms of hypothyroidism?
I have Hashimoto's.
You should be on nicotine.
You would be
Hashimoto.
okay putting a nicotine patch on a kid?
Are potatoes and french fries dangerous?
Now, see, critics
Exactly,
say
bro.
that you are spreading dangerous misinformation when you talk about this stuff.
It is very dangerous for big pharma. There's one nutrient called nicotine in tobacco products. There are 15 man-made
Jesus.
addictive chemicals called pyrazines in every single one of them. Tobacco is the highest containing nicotine plant on earth. The second highest are all your nightshade vegetables, eggplant, tomatoes, white potatoes, cauliflower,
I didn't even know that.
celery, bell peppers. Glioblastomas were proven in 2021 to be cured by nicotine alone. There is no more important message or video that should be seen than this one for the whole world. It could single-handedly protect all of humanity.
Pretty cool, man.
That's sick.
At least it makes me feel better when I'm spending $7 a pack.
And how do they figure that out? Like, who figures that out?
I know.
Just
Well,
like the methylene blue thing. Who
Yeah, dude.
figures that out?
Have you got on that
I've just
bandwagon
seen
yet?
it. I've just seen it.
I'm afraid to. I don't want to buy the bullshit. Apparently, there's a lot of shit out there that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to try it, bro. I mean, it makes sense if it does what they say it does. It lets your mitochondria absorb more oxygen or more efficiently absorb oxygen. So, and if our mitochondria are not absorbing oxygen correctly, then our whole body is being
Thrown
fucking
off.
suffocated.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, it seems but that's the kind of shit that big pharma, like he just said, man, they can't let the masses have that. I mean, we've got to keep going to the doctor. I haven't I can't tell you the last time I went to a doctor I don't want to go, especially after COVID, bro. I don't want to fucking go to the doctor and have them tell me I need to start. I feel fine. You know what I mean?
Just take vitamins and try to do what you can. You know,
like if I break my arm or something, I'll go, right? But I know too many people that were normal, healthy fucking people that went to the doctor and found out they had fucking some kind of cancer. A customer of mine, bro.
How about that guy? No, not to cut you off, but how about that guy that was diagnosing people, that doctor that they just busted that was diagnosing people with cancer and didn't even have cancer because he wanted to get them on that expensive treatments.
Fucking A. I wonder how
76
much damage.
people and what's crazy, this has to tell you that he was doing this to these people with chemotherapy, making them take chemotherapy, and the chemotherapy was almost killing these people. That's got to show you that how are you going to cure cancer with something that can kill a healthy person?
That's what I mean, dude. If
that makes no sense.
Yeah, I know.
That makes no sense.
But the whole point behind chemotherapy is it kills everything.
Yeah.
Let's just not turn it up enough to kill you. We're going to try to kill everything but you.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah. My dad, his last cancer treatment, which turned out great, they did radiation, which is different than chemo, right? It didn't make him feel bad. It didn't, and it was directed radiation exactly where the fucking, obviously not all cancer is probably treatable like that, Again, I'm not a doctor, but it fucking worked for him.
Nice.
And yeah, man.
That's fucking sick.
But yeah, I had a customer of mine years ago, great dude, and was healthy as a fucking ox. You know what I mean? Like, I would never imagine he had any sickness going on. Well, his wife found a lump in one of his fucking balls.
What's she doing?
She was, just checking him. And he wouldn't go. He's like, I feel fine. I don't want to go to the doctor.
I bet he did.
No, you got to go to the doctor, right? Well, I don't want to go. He went to the doctor. 6 months, he was fucking dead.
No,
bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, he would come into the shop and would look worse and worse over like a 2 or 3 month period, and then he quit coming, and then his wife called us and told us. And I'm sure it was the chemo, you know what I mean? Like, because right away they started like aggressive treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And look, man, I know that happens for real. People get, you get found out about a bad disease in an awkward way, but it just makes me kind of weary of going. Like you just said, if there's doctors out there that are willing to
give you methylene
false
blue,
prescribe you,
or
on the other side of it, to actually fix you.
Yeah. You just got to find them. You just got to be in front of the right person.
Well, that's like Rogan. When he got COVID, he talks about his doctor was a doctor that was okay with ivermectin and okay
vitamins.
with all these,
Mm-hmm.
And did you see how fucking CNN
turned him yellow,
turned him green?
Oh, green, yeah,
was
like green.
Try to make him.
Speaking of green people, all right, I got a video I want you to watch. All right, you coming back? Come on back.
You got this, bro.
Come on back, trucker.
Come on now. Put the headphones on and just listen.
Put you a zen in and
You're
let's
good to go,
do this. Bro. I need your input
Drink
on
your
this.
beer.
Tell me if this is real, because I'm gonna pull out one of the ones that could be fake.
Okay, we got this.
All right. What are you doing, man? Oh, here it is.
E ao mesmo tempo, nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados.
See the lady?
Deixa eu pedir uma pastilha. Já estão encomendados estudos para eliminar.
What the fuck?
Chega, é muito. Já estão. Eliminamos.
You heard that, right?
What was this?
You heard that.
Where was this from?
I think he's an Italian president or something.
So what just happened? What just fucking happened?
Going to the lizard people. They're saying that the elites are lizard people, bro.
Bro,
I'm curious for the opinion from the guy with the lizard shirt on the podcast.
There you go.
That's a lizard shirt.
What do you think? Are there? What is the theory on lizard people? Are they aliens, or have they been living here underground? Is it like an underground civilization, or? Yeah.
No opinion.
But what I didn't catch was what just happened?
When he starts talking, you hear him clearing his throat like there's something wrong, and it could have just been he's got allergies. But by the lady's reaction, whenever he started talking like the lizard dude, the lady next to him just jumped up, and she's like, "Holy shit, get away from this! This is not right."
Yeah.
I mean, but is it real or is it fake, Matthew?
I think that you can easily make a sound effect.
I don't know, man. It seems legit to me.
But
bro.
her reaction, did you see her reaction? I know it's fun to believe it. We want to believe it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. I could easily put a voice effect on top of that. He could have farted, and then he could have just farted, and then she reacted, and then they put a thing above it. You know.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounded quite sound effective right there.
So no lizard people.
Well, maybe they.
I got another one. Don't worry.
Me too.
God.
There's more to come. Oh man.
Houston, I remember one of the first videos you showed on this podcast was those alien ice age AI created video. You're like, this is real, right?
Bro, you never know. That's why I got to ask you. Like, it could always be real.
It could.
Where's the one that I wanted to show you? Okay, so this one's super sick. I don't know. What's that one where they can control your mind? It was Project, what was it, where they were giving people, like kind of basically turn them to the Manchurian candidates. But what was it, the government?
Oh, come on. You know this, right?
You were just talking to me about it. Where they can, make you do shit like what they, like the Trump assassinated
Yeah.
dude, like mind control your ass.
What is that referred to as? Do you know, Kyle?
I'm trying to
Like when you like a Manchurian candidate, like a program the government has to do that to people.
But anyway, pull this one up, Matthew. Pull this one up. This one's sick. So it looks like this chick in the back behind this lady, it's like and I know she could be a court reporter and she's just typing what she's saying, but it looks like what this white lady's saying that the African lady is repeating.
Page 55.
Oh, I've seen this, bro. Yeah.
With FBI have some
It's really odd, bro. Like, she knows the script.
Introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee.
She even looks pissed off when the lady messes up.
Yeah.
Well, she's the one who wrote it,
Yeah. Well,
What'd you say?
and so she knows everything word for word. And
So it could just be that simple.
So when they mess up,
Kyle, could you get closer to the mic?
yeah. Scoot in.
Closer
Scoot
to the
in.
mic.
Strappy.
Cameras are off.
Can't hear
So-
can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah.
Well,
But
no,
if you
so-
put your
so-
headphones on, you'll be able to hear yourself better, so you'll know when.
So
you're too far away.
is she actually reporting what the black lady is saying? Or
no, she's the one who wrote it.
so she's making her say that? Or she's just
No,
repeating
well,
it?
I
Well,
think
I
she's
get
just
it. So-
repeating it.
She's just repeating,
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah, so
giving her what
they
to say.
they all have like a given script.
But what about the mistake?
Well, that's why. Okay, play it again.
Play it again. Play it
Play it
again.
again.
Watch the mistake in real time. There it is. You can just play it. Just you don't have to play it. It goes in. It'll slow it down.
55 from the committee's interview with FBI have some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview.
She's like, "Bitch,
with
you just
FBI
fucked up."
employee Roya Demo.
No, watch. It'll just keep playing it. It'll replay it.
Yeah, but she's the one who wrote the script. So and they rehearsed this backstage.
The record, page 55 from the committee's
So in other
You
words,
fucking bitch.
well, so you have to think about it like this. So she wrote the script, and they're kind of like connected, right? So she's like in the zone with her, right? And so as she's talking about the script she wrote, and so it's kind of like a cognitive connection they have. That's what I would think about this. I went down this rabbit hole.
It almost seems like
So this
she's controlling her.
So this is an alien.
You would think.
Not alien. Not
I think it's more
alien.
like a
Not
mind
alien.
control. Like a mind
So
control.
this
thing,
is a
right?
xenomorph.
No.
Xenomorph.
Even though, well, there's this one where this dude doesn't blink the entire time. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen those.
You
That's
see-
freaky
now,
too,
that
man.
one's a little bit freaky to me.
Yeah.
Where this dude is like staring,
On TV
like
Yeah.
not blinking.
Yeah, and
That's
you have
locked
to
up.
blink,
You're
bro.
talking
Like, how
about
do you
that
not-
for
politician.
46 seconds
Yes,
straight.
yes.
yeah.
How do you do that?
To me, that's creepy.
Yeah, dude.
think I
I need
saved
to have
that.
some Visine in my pocket.
Visine is
Are you
not what
talking about the
would-
politician that just freezes on camera?
No, that's Romney, Mitch Romney. That
Oh,
That's not
God,
Mitt Romney.
dude.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
It's a Mitt Romney look.
He quite literally freezes.
Yeah, whenever that guy touched him, he like locked in.
Yeah.
No, this is a different one. This is a guy that was on entertainment TV.
You're sending it now?
I'm trying to look for it.
All right, I
man.
got one I've sent you, Matthew, and I wrote on there what time to start it, so it might take you a second to. But this is something I want you to look at, Kyle, and
What is this
help
about?
us figure out. This is a Colombia, a recent. This is recent, an orb that landed in Colombia, and
the Boogosphere? The Boogosphere?
I think that might be what they refer to it as. But they caught this fucking thing, right? And
Yeah,
they've done.
I don't like
they've
it.
done. You don't think so, huh?
I don't like it.
They've done fucking
The only
X-rays
reason
to
why-
it supposedly.
The only reason why
Here we
is
go.
because
I do know
the metalwork
this
on
thing
it,
exists,
the lines on it.
and I do know that there have been quite a few strange orb-like
The problem is they're just
things.
flooding the zone
ships,
with
structures,
bullcrap.
messages. I
Have
don't
you
know,
seen this one?
flying
Oh, yeah.
around?
Oh, yeah. The
Scientists have
Boogosphere.
released the first X-ray images
I don't like
of
it.
a serious sphere-shaped object recovered in Colombia. Which
Well,
locals
if you do
claim
close
is of
up on
alien origin.
that
Yeah,
right there,
yeah.
What is
right there.
this?
So go back to the other one.
Gracious. Okay.
Well,
So if you look
Claims
at the
of alien
lines, like it's not sharp enough. It's not sharp enough.
Well, what gets me, they have footage of this thing supposedly flying around before it lands.
Now I believe
How,
that.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, do you think
But I
they
don't
just
believe-
caught that video and then they
Yeah, how can
they-
you believe
No, I
any
don't-
footage today? I mean, with AI,
that's
it's like,
the
how do
thing.
you
I
believe
mean,
any
it's
of it?
it's tough to
That's a
fucking
part of
believe
the-
any of it
That's a part of the psyop. Flood
to make people think that it's all bullshit.
Yeah, flood the zone.
Yeah. So a lot of it is bullshit, probably, right?
So
But
Kyle,
obviously
how
there's
do
some
you
real
how do you
shit.
differentiate something that you believe is real and what is fake on the internet now?
Oh, you got to go with your gut, 100%. Like you
I'm
gotta-
screwed then.
Yeah, Houston, you're done.
I got plenty
I'm
of gut.
fucking
like
done.
high level discernment. You got to go high level discernment.
What do you look for to discern something?
Well, like in this one you're saying it's the hokey fucking designs and engravings on that thing.
Well, if you look at the lines on the edge, I mean, if you're gonna do first of all, I don't think if you want to go spheres, right? They're not gonna have a design on it.
yeah, like,
They're
why
not.
would they?
And then also, if you go and if you see how they do like little X-ray, they put a little camera and they're like, oh, there's fiber optics in here.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at it, then you see because it's just the light reflecting back. So
I think he has X-ray images supposedly. Like, how do we know that's really fucking X-ray images?
I don't
Play-
trust this
play a
one.
few more
This
seconds
one I
of
don't
it.
trust. I don't trust this one. The Boogosphere.
This dude's pretty good, Benny Johnson.
Goodness gracious.
And not only that, but
Well,
that sphere.
Let's check in. What does it say? Scientists have released the first X-ray images of a mysterious sphere-shaped object recovered in Colombia. Dude, you were
Okay, well,
aiming
hold
for
on.
Egypt, not Colombia.
Let's start with Patrick Jackson, orb theory. I'm getting
Okay.
it back. I'm getting it back.
All right, well, go ahead. I would love to hear about it, bro.
Yeah, please. Let's go back to Patrick Jackson, orb theory.
So does is there? Do you have anything you can text Matt real quick?
Oh, he'll find it.
Okay, Pat. There you go.
Well, he's the Jamie, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's Big Matt.
He's got this.
So Patrick Jackson is
So
he
if you-
is that him?
No.
Okay, so is he the one that knows everything about that missing Malaysian flight?
So that's Ashton Forbes.
So on this,
So
what are
Ashton
we
Forbes-
what are
Ashton
we talking
Forbes-
about here, Patrick Jackson?
Okay, so Patrick Jackson's orb theory, like he's really low key because he's onto something. So his whole theory is you've got three types of orbs, right? So you've got the type 3 orbs at the bottom. Okay, so we can start with the poltergeist. Let's start with poltergeist.
And that has something to do with him also. He's a
Okay, so you know how like you look at poltergeist and let's say haunted houses where doors open and shut real quick and scares people, right? That's the orbs, the type 3 orbs at the bottom, right? Well, let's start from the beginning, right? So we're doing like crypto terrestrial here, right?
so they're not aliens because they're from us or from Earth, but they're
I think they've been here.
okay. So they pre-existed us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Type 3 orbs send off gamma ray and microwave information from the Type 1 that goes on the ground. And then you got your Type 2 orbs that, like the Boogosphere.
The one that we just saw the video of?
Yeah, but not that actual sphere. The ones that just roam around in the middle space. Middle space. And it's a relay system, right? And it goes to the Type 1 orbs. So, and the Type 1 orbs triangulate in open space to a certain object.
How big are these?
You guys, you lost me. Like you lost
Yeah,
me.
I know. We need to. Okay,
we need to
so
start somewhere.
But you're talking about. So these orbs are not like aliens. You're thinking this is more
AI.
like a. Is this not like a haunting? I mean, when you say poltergeist, I'm thinking like haunted houses and shit. So the actual orbs are in these haunted houses that are flying around and
Yes.
making the doors open and close.
Yeah.
And that's a particular type of orb. Do they turn into better orbs? Like, do they? How do they? I don't know. Like,
So
do
you're
they,
saying we
are
live
they
in
always,
Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
The Pokemon balls, is that what it is?
I
But
choose
are
you.
they? What are they? Are they? So they're like? Are they like ghosts? Is that kind of how? Is that what people have?
No. Okay.
Is that what his theory says? Or
Okay. So let's start with MH370.
the plane?
The plane.
Okay.
We're back on the plane. Let's go.
All right, let's start here. So, if you watch that video, and there's 3 orbs circulating the plane, right?
That's the one I saw too.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
And
And
then it like disappears.
yeah, so they're triangulating like the X space, right? So you have to have 3 orbs to be able to triangulate a single object in 3D space, right? And so to be able to transport it.
Is this a specific plane? Like you have an airline number or something?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this?
Actually, I just sent you a video, Matt. I'm going to resend it because I sent it
Well,
earlier.
do you have the name of the plane? I could just look up a picture.
Yeah, MH370.
What is it?
MH370.
MH?
370.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Oh, my family.
Yeah, bro.
My
It's
family.
that one. There you go.
My family.
Was anybody on that plane? You knew?
Yeah, a couple of my friends.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think our government just
Was there
made that
was there
plane
specifically
disappear.
an image or?
No, there's a
No,
video.
it's just kind of shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
this is a
sent you
video?
the video. I sent
Okay.
you a short.
I think they
I
just
just
wanted that
resent it to you, so it should
information
be top of the list.
Got it.
You know what I mean? They wanted that control. I think
Yeah,
it comes
dude.
back to the people on the plane.
So this is showing. Well, I'll let you narrate this. Narrate.
Let's just listen to it.
There you go.
This is not it.
This is not the plane.
Yeah. This. What the fuck?
But this isn't the video.
Is it already over? Was
That
it
was
just
it.
like
Yeah,
3
it's
seconds?
just a 3-second video.
Well, that's not the one I meant to send.
Well, you said.
God,
This
dude.
just proves that we don't plan any of this stuff out. We just come in.
not
And
good.
Oh my god,
Not
dude.
whatsoever. That's why I'm choking.
We just come in and do it. We just do it.
Yeah. Well, my phone's about to die, so I would just in
Ashton
YouTube.
Forbes. Ashton Forbes. MH370.
But I would search for it as a short because otherwise it's going to be a bunch of long form
I mean,
videos.
it's all over the place. Like, let's not forget that I'm a rookie on this. Yeah, see,
Literally.
Someone.
What am I looking for?
No, I would just do MH370 orbs and then search in shorts, and I think it'll bring up a ton of videos on it.
there it is. Yeah.
That's a good one. Oh, we need to get you an account.
It's $18 a month.
Doing tonight, we're going to take a look at that.
All right, cool. This is about a minute and a
All
half.
right, here we go. All right.
Let's take a look at the original clip right now and see if we see anything sus.
So I don't know if this is from the Predator drone or if this was from the
So we're
supposed
thinking-
satellite.
This is more Predator drone right here.
Okay.
So the darker would be represented.
But why would the
of
drone
colder
be
temperature,
there?
Right.
Well, because they knew.
Oh,
I'm already seeing. Oh, look at
like
that.
CNN
Why
being
is
at
it
Trump's rally
Yeah, dude, they were tipped
for the
off.
first time.
in a a direction.
They just knew.
Traveling. Do you see that?
Yeah.
You see those long
Well,
lines?
you know, I guess if you believe that whole theory, it's because the people that were on the plane, maybe,
After the plane vanished.
or maybe they just wanted to perform a show of force to maybe an adversary of ours that know we're fucking around with this kind of technology and just didn't realize that it would get out to the public. But if you let it run a few more seconds, I'm sure it'll show. It has to show it explode or implode.
No, it transports.
That's what I was asking earlier. Where do you think it went? Was there a? There you go. It's gone.
That's what
I don't
makes it
know,
look
this
fake.
looks like
right?
an
It does,
animation
bro.
right
It
here.
makes it look super fake.
Also, just like looking at this, it looks like whoever is videoing this is at the exact same
They haven't moved, yeah.
level.
Well, no, but listen, and I know, and I've looked into a lot of these videos. This is a recording from like the actual file on a computer. Like a lot of the footage. There's two or three different videos. You can see a mouse in the background. Like you can tell this was like screen recorded from a laptop. And the theory would be somebody in intelligence, recorded it from their laptop and snuck it out and put it on Reddit back in 2014. So this video was released in 2014, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, back then, the technology involved in making a hoax like this, apparently in 2014, was very expensive software. You had to have at your disposal. It would be very tough, much harder then to do it now. And this video has proven to be 10 or 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that the stuff that they show us that we can do now, that they've been doing for a long time ago.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, dude, have you heard of the TR3? I think it's TR3B, the triangle fucking plane, Yeah, I mean, that's technology that was supposedly reversed alien technology. You can search the TR3B on Google and find the fucking like the government blueprints, the patent on it, all of this shit from like 1999. And they're talking about in the patents the type of like anti-gravity technology it's using, and it looks just like the sketching of it, the blueprints of it look just like these fucking videos that are popping up everywhere. I mean, it's so yeah. I mean, they're probably 50 years ahead of what they let us know.
But what is the government afraid of to tell us the truth? Like we're just going to freak
I don't
out,
know,
quit going
man.
to work, or stop buying Zens, or what are we going to do?
I think it
It's
would
so
be
fucking
a
bad.
breakdown of religion, maybe.
That for sure. I could see how people would question religion.
I think so. If they're like, wait a second, there's other
everything's
worlds
changed,
with
timeline.
yeah.
But here, when you go down the rabbit hole of like UFOs and aliens, like you actually get closer to like source and God and soul, and that's why I like going down the rabbit hole,
Like good and evil type deal.
Yeah, totally. And so
I can see that. Like a lot of those things people are seeing that they think aliens are actual just evil entities.
Oh, bro, that's what Tucker Carlson 100%
Oh, that's right.
believes
He
that,
did
bro.
say that. You're right.
He thinks that they've been here forever and they're always going to be here, and it's entities, whether you want to call them angels or demons or
lizard people,
whatever. Yeah, I mean, but they have been here. I mean, look at all the pictures from hundreds of years ago of like paintings from Da Vinci or these famous artists that show an orb in the fucking sky and a
Like
kid in
this
the
one.
background looking at it, and I mean,
okay, so Leonardo da Vinci did this, and see the three orbs right here.
Oh, yeah, I
and
see
he's
that
pointing
now.
up. So
yeah,
I think,
dude, that's all throughout our history. I mean, it's
so it's not just reverse tech, like they've been here.
yeah. Well, and I mean, there must have been, and if our government has interacted with them, it's maybe they just for national security reasons they don't want to tell people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't want, if this technology is really like this and we have it now, you can't let your fucking enemies have that.
Dude.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, who cares about a nuclear bomb at that point? You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
There's so much. If this shit is real, there's so much more that governments need to worry about now, and that's probably why
like a
they
race for the technology.
Yeah, and maybe it's already been won, and fuck. I mean that's some crazy shit right there. It's tough to, but if you believe in the Philadelphia experiment that we did back in the 50s. They've been messing around with this kind of technology for a long time, a long time, for 70 years,
Oh,
so no telling what they can do now. And this, if it's real again, it's 11 years old.
Right.
So
just on Joe Rogan, that guy from the Y-Files, AJ
yeah, dude,
Gentile,
he's awesome.
That
that fucking
sick.
show
That's
is
his
badass,
YouTube
bro.
show is sick. And
Yeah.
I love watching it because it's just so. And then he'll put the twister at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
I like
or
that
it
part of
could
it, you
be.
know?
Here's what the debunking it basically. But they were talking about the orbs hard about it and how creditable people have seen these things flying in the sky. Now, whether it's Blue Beam or it's our drones or whatever it was, like that New Jersey drone situation, how hot that was, dude.
Yeah. Well, apparently that's kind of cranking back up, and in Arizona now, they're right. I know I've seen a lot of this shit come across my feed about how it's turning. It's literally like New Jersey 2.0 happening in Arizona, but it's so far out in desolated parts of the desert that it's just not being reported on quite as heavily.
Right.
So
I think it's being suppressed.
Oh, for sure. And that's a kind of an easy thing for them to suppress too. Again, because it people that will talk about it, it's easy to make them look like they're a fool. Like, what are you talking about? That's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
and so it's easy to suppress because nobody's going to really fight to talk about the orbs or the lizard people or I mean it's one of those things. I mean there's a dude, fuck, bro. I shouldn't even have brought it up if I can't remember his name, but he supposedly worked at he was
the base.
The base, but it was underground in Dulce, New Mexico.
He was talking about direct energy weapons too.
Yes,
wasn't he?
yes.
Right after that, right before the Maui thing happened, he was talking about.
Well, this is a different dude. This
Oh, it
dude
is?
he
Okay.
was fucking whacked off and that's not a good choice of words. He was killed in like the late 90s, right
okay,
after
it's a
this
different guy,
happened.
okay.
But he tells a story of they were drilling like pylons 100 or 200 yards underground for like a foundation of a new base they were building or whatever, and it hit a pocket. They had to go down and investigate, right? Well, supposedly and this guy went on like nationwide speaking engagements all over the country for years talking about this. I wish I remembered his name, but he basically went down to investigate and found himself in a cavern full of aliens that he was calling, I think he called them Nordics or something like that.
Okay.
But they got into a fucking gunfight. They yanked him back up. They put like a bunch of special forces guys back down in there. Supposedly they all got killed. One of his fingers or two of his fingers are missing. And he said that he was shot with a directed energy weapon and it just like burned his fingers off.
Like a laser.
He got shot in the chest. He said it exploded his chest open. He pulls his shirt up to show all the injuries or whatever. But he goes on this tour of just telling as many people about it as he could and then ends up being murdered, So, but it just sounds so hokey. It's like so hard to believe.
They plan on that. That's what they want.
That's what I mean. It's easy to debunk it or, to just think it's bullshit when it sounds.
Categorize it in that
there you go.
kookiness, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. What's his name? Do you remember his name? I don't know why. It's just at the tip of my tongue, but.
What about here in Texas, how we have the Marfa lights? What the
yeah,
hell
dude.
is that?
Yeah.
I know it's like 8 hours away, but I want to go check that shit
would be
out.
cool,
I
man.
want to go check. It's in the
That's
middle
the
of
tectonic plates rubbing together and it creates static electricity.
You think
Is
that's
that
really
what
what
it
it
is?
is?
Yeah.
Or did you see that video on Joe Rogan they were talking about where he played the video too of the ball lightning? Did you see that when it was
Yeah,
going
dude.
across the parking lot? Is that real?
Bro. It
I
looks,
don't know. I think that's AI.
Yeah, I mean, but again, who knows?
Is that a
What's-
military weapon type thing too? Like that they're messing
That
with this
looks so crazy
ionic
because
fear
part
or
of it,
something?
it turns into a black solid ball and then it turns back into
Did
electricity.
it? I didn't see. I could just hear
Yeah.
the noise from it too.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. Well, we have the sighting of a big craft in Stephenville, Texas, like 10 or 15 years ago, where there was a Phoenix Lights type of craft, like a big 100 or 200 yard wide craft shaped in a V with lights all down the side. There's great pictures online of it. This happened like in 2009 or 2010.
Hundreds of people seen it.
Hundreds of people saw it. All these fucking police officers, all these credible people. They're like, we don't know what the fuck it was. We saw it and it slowly went over the city. It got to the edge of the city and then shot off faster than anything anybody could even describe, So, and the whole Phoenix Lights that happened years ago, hundreds of people saw that. And then the mayor of the town came out and made fun of the whole thing by bringing a buddy out in an alien costume.
Yeah.
And then years
That's what
later,
they do. That's what
years
they
later,
do.
he was
Apologized.
interviewed and he came out and said, I actually did see him. We don't know what the fuck they were. I shouldn't have acted that way about it, right? Well,
But by
thanks.
then, who cares?
Well,
You can
yeah,
come
but
out
he
and
was
say that.
afraid of looking like a kook. He didn't. I think that's why it's not. as mainstream as it should be. Obviously, something's going on, whether it's us or whether it's the fucking lizard people. I mean, something's happening. You know, like when the pilots are seeing what they describe as drones, we know it's not a drone when it's 36,000
Over the
feet,
ocean.
and it's stable in a 200-mile-an-hour jet stream, and it's holding its fucking position. You know. Or when these fighter pilots off the coast of California are running into objects that are at 80,000 feet, which is space, and then at 10 feet above the water, they calculated that it was like 150,000 miles an hour or whatever it would have to travel.
You would be
It's
mush.
fucking
You would be
retarded.
mush
It's
if you were in there. Yeah.
That's not. Yeah. I mean, but are those just fucking projections that we're seeing? Is it even in this universe? I mean, is it in this dimension?
I don't think
even?
it's projections on stuff like that. I think it's just the radar systems that they're using now are so more advanced.
Yeah,
that
they're seeing all
they're
sorts
seeing
of
the
shit.
stuff that's going in and out of the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, yeah. But and well, a lot of the orbs
So
that
you
they
know
were
the
seeing.
the Ocean Gate sub that imploded, and how long it took for them to admit, like, oh, we're going to do a search and rescue on this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They knew exactly where it was, but they didn't want to let everybody know where the tech. They had the tech to know immediately where anything is, right?
They had to act like they had to search for it.
Yeah. And so you think about, do you know about the 4chan whistleblower talking about the underground base in the Atlantic Ocean where they have the
No,
mobile
let's hear.
construction unit? So this 4chan whistleblower is talking about there's a construction base that shoots in and out orbs, and they use
is that the one they blurred on? It's on the bottom of the ocean where before you could see it on Google Maps, but now it's blurred. They were just talking about this on Joe Rogan.
No,
too.
this is a mobile construction unit.
Oh, it's something moves.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What?
And so it shoots in and out orbs, and it's an AI, like controlled underwater base, right? And so this underwater base that's AI controlled, right, is it sends these orbs in and out for just like purposes for like, you know,
Just they have different tasks.
Yes.
Are they are they plasma? Are they a hard fucking shell, like a candy shell with nougat in the center? What are these things, man? What are they? Are they just light?
Or is it a
just
hologram?
energy?
Yeah. What's the deal? What is it?
Yeah, you know, because there was a video that I saw, you know, last December in New Jersey of like a squadron of them forming these triangular patterns as they all splash down in the ocean. Like they literally are going, and you have all these cops saying they're coming from the fucking ocean. You know, the Coast Guard was being followed by like 15 of them. You know what I mean? And they just came out of nowhere. So like these orbs, are they? What do you think? Are they just like energy? Or is it an actual something that's a fucking sphere, like that BOGO sphere or whatever we saw earlier?
Yeah, I think
you know?
so. Yeah.
You think it's a metal sphere?
Yeah.
So I've heard that they light up. That's like their propulsion method. As they're bending gravity or doing whatever it is they do, it causes a light, right? And so it makes that appearance of an orb, but they really are a hard metal.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
their propulsion system is
it anti-gravity or
electromagnetism.
okay? So that's causing like a static field around
Yeah.
it that's lighting up. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because there's so many people that have seen them. There's so many videos of them. They're all that same color, like a yellowy, just super bright. I've seen videos recently of like helicopters following them. Have you seen those where
Like military?
military helicopters following them and people are, you know, filming it? And again, anything can be bullshit that we watch on the internet
Especially now.
Especially now. But when you know, and you hear people in the parking lot who's watching, like, what is that? You know?
But what's more convincing to me is all of the actual fighter pilots
Yes,
and the
bro.
videos
Yes.
and the
the Nimitz?
two ways,
Dude.
yes. And they're
Yes.
talking about the orbs and
Commander
how they're
Fravor?
moving.
Yeah,
yes,
dude.
Exactly.
I mean, how can you ignore that?
I know.
These
I mean,
are
this
guys
dude
that
is
are
trained,
polished,
bro.
polished.
And they're not going to fucking make themselves look like an idiot for no reason. They understand
They're not like
talking
us.
like that.
They're not like
Yeah.
us. We'll do that regardless.
Yeah, right.
We'll say whatever.
Well, I have a friend of mine, a customer that's turned into a good friend. He's a pilot for American, and dude, he's told me.
Did you ask him
stories.
if the Earth is flat?
No, I don't.
You don't talk about
I'm
that?
pretty sure it's round.
You're scared? You're sure? I don't know.
Houston is completely certain it is flat now.
Come on, bro.
But he has told me, and he doesn't get too into it, right? I mean, I'm sure that American doesn't want their pilots, you know, telling
The
crazy
truth?
story. Yeah,
Oh.
right. But the jet he flies at about 36,000 feet. It can't really go any higher than that. That's 40,000 is about the limit. Our jets, like fucking super badass tech that our fucking best fighter jets have, they can hit about 60, maybe 65 for a short period of time before there's not enough oxygen to run the motors, right? These are like oxygen burning motors. Once you get up to where the oxygen level is so thin, it just can't combust. It can't do its job. Plus, they'll lose oxygen. It's cold as shit, right? They're just not built for that. He saw multiple times now what he describes as orbs at about 70,000 feet, right? So like 30,000 feet above where he's at, with what appear to be fighter jets following him around, almost in like a dogfight type scenario going on, almost like they're playing with each other too, though. And he said that he saw it once on a flight from New York to Chicago. They were so high up that they were there for half the fucking flight. You know what I mean? Like they're so much higher above him. Kind of like how when we're on the ground and a plane goes overhead, that fucking plane's going 500 miles an hour, but it seems like it takes 30 minutes for it to go. Well, the same thing is true when you're in the air. And if they were moving with him, and he's like, dude, we were just mesmerized watching these things. Never knew what the fuck they were. Weren't being picked up on radar. They were calling it in. Do you see this going on up above us? And I totally believe this dude. Like, why would he tell me that? You know? And he's seen it numerous times now. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, have you seen anything else like that, bro? Especially in December when that whole shit was going on with New Jersey drones. I was like mesmerized by that. So I was trying to get some good, but yeah, it was just odd, and it almost, what he was describing to me sounded like, like we were, I don't know, like there was a training thing going on with, maybe they're ours, maybe they're part of our military.
Probably.
I remember seeing a video of the Iron Dome going down in Israel while they were getting rocketed, right? And again, this could be fake, but some missiles come up from Hezbollah. A missile shoots up from the Iron Dome, which they're like supersonic missiles, fast as shit. And it just stopped in the air and moved around a little bit. And then it broke apart in two and knocked out two fucking Hezbollah missiles that were coming. But it looked like a fucking orb, It was like, what? This is, maybe
the technology we're seeing.
Maybe it's military technology we're seeing, or it's technology
that we're hiding
can
from
be
everyone
used.
else,
Yeah.
so they can't use it.
Who knows, man? And if it is something that is, maybe we've been able to control it. Maybe it has been around for a long time, but now we are. I know there's a lot of people that claim to be able to control these things with their mind, like
Psionics.
Yeah, the psionics. That's some of these whistleblowers are coming out talking about that, and they literally go out into the fucking mountains and find a good spot to sit, and they will call these fucking orbs in, and they have video of this going on, dude. They'll just be like fucking telepathically calling these orbs in, and all of a sudden the sky will be fucking full of them, and they're basically remote viewing the inside of these orbs and taking over control of them and flying them wherever the fuck they want them to go. And they think that that's how these things are propelled. But whoever is the ones in control have just completely mastered that, right? And we all have the ability to do it too, but not everybody can dig down into the part of their body that actually will make that happen or make that work.
It's the fluoride in the toothpaste, right?
Yeah. It's
a consciousness thing.
Yeah.
It's our pineal gland is calcified up from our
It
crest.
just doesn't work. Well, one of these whistleblowers that came out, the guy that transported the egg, I don't know, did you see that video where he was I forget, is that Grush? Is that David Grush, the dude that transported the egg? Anyway, the egg was like a spaceship, right? Or an orb or whatever. And he is part of an elite group where they're like the cleanup crew for the military.
Okay.
And they would be called on to move objects, right? If a fucking whatever crashed,
they have to come in.
They come in, and it could be a fucking one of our planes or one of our helicopters that has top secret information on it that we can't let it get in the hands of anybody else. He wouldn't even know what the fuck. He was a patriot, right? He just doing whatever.
Look here.
He was doing whatever his commanders would tell him to do.
Right.
And on one of these missions, as he's approaching whatever it was, he didn't know what the fuck it was. Right. He's approaching it. He starts getting these feelings of. He described as like feminine feelings of beauty, and
isn't that crazy?
It started making him cry.
They can touch you like that,
and he was like, upset with himself that he was crying. He's like, I'm a fucking military man. I'm in a fucking helicopter. I'm about to go pick up a wrecked ship. What, you know?
They were
but
just messing with
He
this.
couldn't fucking control it. And then he got there and it was this fucking 20-foot long egg that there's video of it. But again, I mean, it's so hard to believe, you know? But it's such a cool story. It's like
Everybody
he
wants to
had this
believe.
connection with this fucking egg, you know?
That's what a lot of people say. Like when you get close to aliens or other beings or their devices of transport, it does that. Like you can connect with it through your telepathically, or you talk to them, or it makes you feel nauseous or whatever. You know,
they've been doing remote viewing for a long time. The CIA
That's some
has
crazy
been, yeah,
shit
dude. I mean,
right
they've
there,
given
dude.
them, you know, they'll give somebody random coordinates, not tell them where the fuck it is, and it ends up being, you know, the dark side of the moon or whatever. And they're describing craters, they're describing mountains, they're
Like Joe
describing
McMoneagle,
yeah,
the #1 remote viewer.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Remote
like how
viewed Mars.
So, but
One-
if that is true, we almost have the ability to do it. It's just about being able to fucking do it. You know.
I guess.
You know, our DNA. If you look at our DNA, it looks like an antenna. You know what I mean? Like it's twisted up like an antenna. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe it is a means of God. It sounds crazy, but
Well, they also
you know,
say
if,
that
if you
in
believe
the top
that
of the
stuff,
pyramids, the Great Pyramid of Giza, they have a radioactive symbol and
Can you speak closer to that mic?
the double helix.
Yeah.
In
like
the
our DNA.
in the King's chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I'm sure they're I mean, hopefully we find out something in our lifetime, you know. But you know, I it.
What do you
I
think?
almost believe, that whatever it is.
You're looking. What do you think? What do you believe?
I don't know. I believe in God.
Well, I do
So
too.
do I.
I do
believe
too.
in God hard.
I think that
Big time.
whatever it is, I think there's just as big of a possibility of it being from here, and you know, a physical being that just lives under the fucking water. Dude, we've only explored 10% of our ocean.
Not even that much, and it's like
Yeah,
70% of the Earth or something.
And if their whole fucking drive in their life is to be unseen
Just
by
go
us,
there, right?
It's fucking easy. They can, you know what I mean? So
And they were talking on Joe Rogan how the military people and Navy have seen these orbs or whatever moving underwater, and it doesn't
yes.
disturb the water.
It's just
or
like a
anything.
different medium for them. They don't fly any slower in water. It's just like another layer of atmosphere. That's and there's witnesses, and it's credible people seeing 400-yard wide ships that are flying going through the water at 400 miles an hour. When our fastest submarine, you know, one of our nuclear submarines, our fastest one we've ever built is like 40 miles an hour.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, but you know, if it's enveloped in some field that it just water doesn't bother it, I mean, that just sounds so crazy.
That's
But
nuts.
obviously something is,
That's
you know,
nuts. So it's not just gravity. It has to do with something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It has to do with some other means of moving through our dimensions
yeah.
or
I mean,
whatever.
you can't even barely move your hand fast through water. You know, it's such a different. Yeah, I mean, it's. But if you look at that, or if you know the technology looks at that as just another layer of atmosphere, then you know, yeah, it's just totally.
So if everybody found out the truth, you think they're going to freak out?
I
it's
think
just
so,
gonna
man.
people just going to fucking just start
What do you
killing each
think?
other or what?
No,
No?
I don't think so
it'll
either.
bring everybody together.
That's what a lot of people say why the blue beam thing is so important to the government, because if they do that, if they make it seem like we're getting invaded by aliens or something, then we're all going to be like looking for the government to help us and save us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're going to try to.
Project Bluebeam is more like instilling fear in a new threat, right? So, and it'll give another reason for everybody to be scared and you know and ask the government for help. And
Give
we
up
need
on their-
protection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe that. I could see them doing that, especially you see some of the stuff, this technology that's coming out of China and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I know
man.
they're badass on stuff, you know, with technology, but here too, I feel like we've spent a lot of money.
I think we are better at hiding our technology. I'm like 100% certain we have higher tech than anybody else on the planet, but they keep that shit under wraps. You know, they for whatever
Breakaway
reason.
civilization, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have to hide the technology. I don't know if it's because they think we'll freak out. I don't know. I mean, I can see people going nuts. You know,
Really?
I think so.
Really?
man.
Questioning everything.
Yeah, dude. Just because they, especially certain
I think
type
the
of
people in
religious
power
people.
want to stay in power, and the only way they can stay in power is to instill fear and conflict, to keep everybody divided and fighting each other, to keep them off what is truly inherent to everybody, which is their soul, their spirit. You know, we're beings of creation. You know, and if we stop fighting each other and think about threats, and we all work together, then we can create a much better society.
Be unstoppable.
You know what I mean? Much
Yeah.
better society.
Yeah, Reagan actually said that a long time ago.
Really?
You know, he said that, you know, how even though we're at odds with our enemies now, if a alien ship was to land to try to take us over, he would
within that same
he would
speech,
imagine
though,
the entire planet would group together as one, and it shouldn't take something that drastic to have us all group together as one. That was kind of the
But Reagan
gist.
also implemented law to where corporations can hide secrets, right? So that's also a reason why we have a breakaway civilization, is because Reagan implemented the law to where we can sell off contracts, defense contracts, right, to private corporate, so we don't have any way of asking what they're doing. Right. So
they have anonymity.
Yes.
For okay.
Kind of like their NGOs when they had their money that way.
Yeah.
Same thing. you
yeah.
know.
And so Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah.
Right. So
It's a
if
private company. It's their business now.
Yeah, exactly. Reagan put that in. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see everybody freaking out and killing each other or leaving, but I
Well,
don't
hopefully
know.
not. I mean, hopefully it would bring us all together, you know?
I think they would use it to produce like fake religious, you know, like in parts of countries, they would put that religious leader, you know, in the sky or
Yeah,
whatever, and just
yeah.
get people to freak out. Same thing here, you know,
Yeah.
just try to push.
You
chaos
must
that
believe
way.
your government. They want the best for you.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me a COVID shot too. Fuck you.
2, please.
No, thank you, dude. I don't know. I'm so glad we lived through that. But what if another pandemic comes again? You know what I mean?
Nobody's going to believe
You don't think
shit,
so?
bro.
I don't think so either.
It just became so political towards the end. You know, I don't know. And hopefully these Democrats that are jumping ship, you know, I mean, I'm sure their mind is back to being normal. It's like they just, you know, there was so many reasons not to believe what we were being fucking told, and you still see people walking around with masks.
Yeah.
You know.
But didn't the World Health Organization or World Economic Forum just implement some sort of pandemic control thing that when another pandemic hits, that they have control over certain types of things that we're going to be able to do or move around and stuff like that again? Like they're already trying to put the thought, they're planting the seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy, bro. When you were on the ambulance during that time, right? During COVID?
Oh, well, I was working at a hospital in the ER.
I
and
bet
it
that was
brutal.
retarded nuts.
Well,
man.
and it was just taking out obese and elderly. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we had a friend that passed away, one of Jennifer's friends and Sarah's friends, young dude. Who was that? I forget his name.
Did they cook his lungs on a ventilator?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Imagine.
God.
Well,
They did that to a lot of people.
Well, they
He was
figured.
young.
Well,
He was
they
your age, bro.
Well, they figured out when you put them on a ventilator early, that's when they die too.
Yeah. Well, and they were getting paid.
Getting paid
you
to
know,
put
like
people
40
on
grand or whatever to
ventilators.
put them
Yeah.
on there.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah, dude. That's scary. That's why I just don't want to go to a fucking. I mean, you know, like
You know
you're gonna
who
have to
Catherine
drag
Fitz
me
is?
into one.
Who?
Catherine Fitz.
Why does that?
She's a boss.
She's been on
Oh
some
no,
podcasts
it's a different.
recently.
It's a different chick.
No, this chick's a boss, and she talks about the how it's all about the money and the breakaway civilization, to where you just have to follow the money
Yeah.
with everything.
So I haven't gotten deep enough into her to know exactly what she means. When she says breakaway civilization, is there a literal underground civilization somewhere that is
There's
supporting itself?
There's $21 trillion missing since 2015.
Yeah.
Where'd that go?
Yeah. Or in the last
Where'd that go?
73 days of Biden, didn't they push out like $76
yeah, dude, I just
billion
saw that,
dollars?
bro.
It just hit it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, who gets that? You know, like Biden's about to pass away now. Is it just, I mean, is his family just going to be, it's just so weird, man.
It's all about money. when you come down to it.
But this breakaway civilization, do you think there's a physical group of people,
Or is it just
hidden
an
away
idea?
somewhere? Yeah, or is it just like a metaphor?
No. I mean, if $21 trillion is missing, that shows that they're building a separate government and control system, right? To be able to impose. Okay, so the fiat currency is going away, right?
That's what I hear.
I hope not, bro.
It's going away quick.
That's the penny's gone. Penny's gone. I wonder if they're going to be valuable.
The penny's gone.
It was the best penny. That was horrible,
dude.
I figured Matt would come out with one of his.
It's 21 trillion.
21 trillion. 4.1 trillion. 3.5. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, do you think it's like, because you hear about all these underground bases being built everywhere, right? There's places in Utah where people claim they're hearing under their house like machinery and
I've seen
fucking
videos of trucks going under there all the time.
Well, is that what? Because I mean, you got to be pretty high up on the fucking ladder of
Get an
corruption
invitation.
to get, yeah, right. I mean, I couldn't imagine what they pay to get into. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, if we were about to really get hit with something and they knew about it and it was going to just fucking kill everybody, I don't know that I'd want to be. I'd
don't
want
wanna
to stay
be
with
with
my
them.
family.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't wanna be with
and
them.
fucking just hopefully make it work, man.
Be over there drinking baby's blood and all kinds of shit. It's
Yeah,
like I'm out on that.
Tom Hanks, baby.
No, thank you.
Tom Hanks.
Dude, that's another
He's the
one.
top of the
I used to
line on
love
that
him
one.
too.
I
used
did
to love
too,
his
bro.
movies.
So
dude.
many
Me
actors
too.
I used to really like until their true colors all started coming out. Yeah, dude. It was the Trump derangement syndrome was so strong with some of these actors. It just made me fucking hate them, bro. Whether I like Trump a lot or not, it was like, what a fucking idiot. You're a fucking actor.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why would you act this way?
Even with all the nutty ass shit that Biden and his backwards ass crew was doing, I still I hated
Bro.
it, but it still didn't affect my
Well,
life.
and he's the president too. Like, we grew up in an era where you would just show a little respect, right? Like, I didn't vote for Obama, but if he would have walked into my shop, I'd shake his hand. You know what I mean? He's the fucking president, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But nobody has that feeling about Trump. If you're on the other side, you would fucking. I mean, you got actors saying that they wish Homeboy wouldn't have missed when they took a shot at him.
Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
Yeah, dude. What
That
an idiot,
killed
bro.
me.
What an idiot. Why would you say that? Didn't Jack Black fire him after that? Or did
Well,
have
they
a
stopped
falling
touring.
out?
It's because all the
What did he say?
He said that the dude should have not missed, or he should have been
So
a
Jack
better
Black
shot.
took Trump's side?
No,
Or he
Jack
just-
Black's
Kyle
partner-
Gass is his
right.
partner. Yeah,
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you said Jack
But
Black fired him.
I thought that Jack Black was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? That's the
yeah,
president.
he did that, but all the stadiums canceled the
Yeah.
shows.
Well, good, man. Like, you just don't.
You can't put that on blast.
Yeah, bro. That's
That kind of hate, regardless if you like the man or not.
But they
you
all
can't
do
that.
it. Like, Madonna talks about wanting to blow up the White House or whatever.
But they gaslighted us so hard to where we censor our own stuff that we say.
Yeah.
Like we won't talk about Biden and his ass cancer. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because now we got to feel sorry for him. But what about all the evil shit that he did to us and to the country?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I know,
we
bro.
got to just forgive him now because he's got
It's
fucking
yeah. Well,
cancer?
now it's like, okay, any one of these auto pen signed, anything that he signed the last year of his presidency should be fucking null and void now. If he didn't know enough to he got mixed up as to when his son died, what year it was, and he was off by like 4 years, and this was 2 years into his presidency. I think from day one he was already really far cognitively
Compromised.
gone. Like, he shouldn't have been in that position, and they knew that shit.
Well, they wanted
obviously
him to
knew
get
it.
in. Like, let's imagine if Trump didn't win, Biden would just be announcing he's president. He's got cancer, so guess who's in? Oh,
now,
Kamala.
now Democrats have the first woman president.
And she could get 3 terms because she could finish his term, and then she could still get 2 more terms.
Yeah. God, we would have been so fucked. You imagine, bro?
How do we jump the timeline? I didn't even believe it.
Me
Jumping
neither, bro.
timelines.
I didn't even believe it. Like, whenever they missed him and then the
Bro.
election,
Right.
it hit. It really hit. I was like, this is a dream. I can't believe this is happening.
It's like you're living in a movie when you saw that.
But we're the bad
Yeah,
guys.
dude.
We're the bad guys. We're the ones that are the bigots or whatever. It's like, dude, we're not.
But
we're
here's
not.
the thing: like, you think Trump is going to save everything?
He can't. He can't. He wants to. I feel like he wants to.
I feel like he wants to.
But
you
just
know,
so much pushing against him, you know. There's so many people, like he's been made to be this villain. Even like I've got good friends, and a lot of them are African American friends. Like, dude, they hate Trump, bro.
Yeah.
Hard. Like it's been such a racial thing. He's destroying our country. I'm like, how?
And it's so far
how is
from
he
the truth,
destroying
bro.
our country?
He's done so much shit, and you know, and I don't want to sound like I'm you know, just
Trump
parading
fanatic.
for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like him, and I'm happy he won.
So what do you think
But
he's
in
doing
his
now?
past, he's done so many things for minorities. He's, you know, housing projects he's built and all sorts of stuff that, you know, instead they just want to talk about.
And even if he didn't do all that, he's not out trying to sniff kids.
Yeah,
or he's
bro.
not out trying to molest kids or transport kids. He's
Bro,
not trying
there's nobody on this planet that has been more scrutinized than him and his background. I mean, they want to find whatever the fuck they can find, and they can't find shit on him. You know, it's like he hasn't done nothing that would.
And they were
you know,
trying to put him in prison.
Bro.
Yeah, then they tried to kill him.
God, twice, man. You know, yeah, it's crazy.
It would have been nutty. Like
Oh
if that
my
happened,
God, dude.
I feel like guys like, and I know I've said this before, even on the podcast. I just feel like guys like us would have just been like,
It
all
would have
right,
been tough.
game on, motherfuckers. Here
yeah.
we go.
I think that might have happened, bro. I mean, and CNN, first time ever, they have their HD camera right there with his head perfectly framed in. They'd never been to one of his rallies ever before. Ever before.
Explain that.
Yeah.
Why are you there now?
That's so crazy.
Well, just
So
like
crazy.
the assassination attempt, the only one that they film is there.
Yeah, that's what we're
Right?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
insane.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't have anybody up on that other window. Why would or the other building? Why wouldn't you have snipers on that building also? That building was a better vantage point than the
Right.
building the snipers were on.
But they
you
had
know?
a counter sniper ready to take him out, so that
That's
way
so- yeah.
nothing could be said.
Yeah.
In his
And
apartment.
they Manchurian candidated the shit out of that kid, bro. He had no idea that he was going to die. I truly think because he had plans for like that Sunday. He had, you know, he had a job. He's like, I'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't think that he was going to die.
And how did he get so indoctrined to want to kill the president when he had no social media?
Yeah.
He was on
I
no
know.
social media. But
And he
yet
was
you want to
wearing-
kill
dude,
the president?
He was wearing a fucking oh goddamn dude, a Demolition Ranch shirt. That's not a dude. I don't think of people that watch Matt Carricker as somebody that's going to want to go kill the president.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Patriot type person,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, dude. That whole thing. I think they might have told him, "Hey, man, we need you to. We're running the drill. We need you to get up here." And maybe he didn't take any fucking shots. We don't really fucking know. There was a window right next to him that had damn near the same line of sight.
Yeah.
It might have been because that building right next to the building he was on top of was full of law enforcement agents until minutes before he got up on the roof. It's like
That we're
he
told
knew when to not
to go out there.
I mean,
You
yeah.
can't- It'll never come out. Is what's
No.
shitty. We'll never know who set it up and who wanted to kill him. But just thank God that it didn't happen. You know, even if it was Biden up there getting shot at, I would still say the same thing.
That'd be
Thank God he
horrible,
didn't
man.
get killed. You know what I mean? But what really happened is that they were trying to stop something. They wanted to continue that money flowing in the billions and trillions, and it's stopping. So that's what
Yeah.
they're scared of.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Kyle, for coming on. How long were we? 2 hours?
Yeah, I think right at 2 hours.
Nice.
I am so sorry.
You're good,
for
bro.
choking.
You're good. Thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah.
Like
and subscribe.
You stayed in the fight, bro.
Sweating the whole
You
way.
did great, bro.
He just collapses out of the chair.
Like, oh my God.